And joining our legal dream team now is Domenic Romano. Joins Tanya and John Manuel. Great to see you, Domenic. Thanks for coming aboard. 14-year-old patient at a psychiatric treatment facility in Florida was punched and pepper sprayed by police officers. It's all caught on video. We want to warn you, this video could be disturbing. This surveillance footage is from April. Watch as the officer tries to grab the teen's arm. She turns around, throws a couple punches at the officer, then the officer punches her in the face. Meanwhile, another officer steps in and pepper sprays the girl. The girl was charged with resisting arrest, disorderly conduct, and criminal mischief. An assistant public defender representing the girl says the officer used excessive force and he wants his client cleared of any wrongdoing. A Pembroke Pines police captain says the girl was inciting others to fight with the police, and the officer in the video acted accordance to procedure. All right, bring back in the legal dream team. All right, ladies first, guys. Sorry, Tanya. You know, they're alleging that she's inciting violence inside, and the other inmates or other patients were getting violent, and she was the ringleader is what they're alleging. Was this excessive?
Well, it looks really bad when you see the video, right? She's a 14-year-old girl.
Psychiatric patient as well.
Yes, psychiatric patient. So the question is whether or not taking that action, hitting her like that was reasonable. Were there other less violent ways to restrain this kid? Possibly. I don't know if it's going to be excessive to the extent that there's a Section 1983 action to be had against the officer. But certainly, I think reasonable minds could disagree about whether or not this was an appropriate use of force in this circumstance.
All right, John Manuel, I don't know where you are on this one. What do you think?
Ultimately, Vin, it's going to come down to what's called a use of force expert who will testify what the standard protocol and procedures are. So if the use of force expert says that the officer could have done something else to de-escalate the situation and not use such a violent act, then they will be held liable. But that's going to be up to a jury to decide.
You know, Domenic, two things taking place here, right? Police officers in a difficult position. They're saying that there was all this violence inside this hospital, this psychiatric facility. Yet when you look at the video, you look like, hey, maybe there was another way this could have been handled. What becomes, you know, the deciding factor here?
Well, I think the Chief Assistant Public Defender is right in calling for an investigation of what's actually going on in that facility. I mean, the police are responding to a situation, but what are the circumstances? For example, there are reports that at that facility, the people in that facility, this young girl and others, are being routinely isolated for long periods of time. They're being placed face down on their beds and tied with their hands and legs. And there are strange practices going on, and given sedatives that some of the inmates refer to as booty juice, so that they don't recall many times the trauma that they experience when they are restrained. So a lot of questions to be asked here, and I think an investigation is in order to what led up to the situation. But on the face of it, it does look like an extraordinary response for an officer, many times the size of that woman, to turn around and punch her in the face.
All right, Dream Team's going to stick around.
Everybody believes what they want, so I think I should be able to name my child what I want to name him. And I didn't think a judge could make me change my baby's name because of her religious beliefs.
Wow. Now, the judge said the name Messiah could be difficult for the child growing up in a county with a large Christian population. Messiah's mom, though, has appealed this decision. Let me bring back I can't believe we're talking about this, legal dream team. Does the judge know about all these people named Jesus?
Right, or the First Amendment.
Or the First Amendment.
Apparently not.
Apparently not. Okay, so how does this work? I mean, the judge orders it, so you have to appeal the name of your child, Domenic?
It's really remarkable. Under the local law, the judge has an ability to allow the mother to use the mother's surname or the mother's maiden name or a hyphenation of the two. It says nothing about the first name. And this is really a head-scratcher. Think of it. From the Greek Christos, anyone named Christopher or Christina, you can make the exact same argument.
That's my
or,
daughter.
as you pointed out, Jesus. It's unbelievable. It's a head-scratcher.
Yeah.